Hello, hello, my beloved souls. Blessed be, blessed day. I'm Autumn, the Enlightened Daughter. For those of you who don't know me, and for those of you who do, welcome back, High Vibe Tribe. Um, Really quick message, just as I am going deeper into these coaching programs, and there's a lot of toxicity that's coming up right now, right, within the collective, and which we're all clearing out. Whether you resonate as a masculine energy right now, or your feminine energy. Sorry, looks like weird, like my lip is not. Anyway, sorry. I'm looking in the camera like, what the hell is on my mouth? But it's nothing. Anyway, sorry guys. Um, so there's a lot of toxicity that's come up right now in the collective that is being transmuted, that's being healed, and accountability, reliability, leadership, honesty, um, harmony, balance, right? All of these things are coming up, and so if there are things showing up in your life that are imbalanced, that don't feel good, that are draining your energy, that aren't adding up, right? It's time to like take a step back and start observing these things, right? Are actions matching words? Are people being accountable for their behavior and their actions in your life, right? Are you being accountable for your behavior and the actions that you're taking in your life? Are you being honest with yourself about your relationships and how you're feeling? Sorry, I feel like my camera isn't near my fan, but I felt like the screen was moving. Sorry. Um, so are you taking accountability for your life and like how you're showing up, right? Are there things coming up right now that are causing kind of like drama and chaos and worry and doubt and fear? And are you allowing that vibration to be your main focus and goal right now? Or are you focused on, the version of you that is in balance, that is harmonious, that is peaceful, that is rested, that is abundant, right? Like those are big things that are coming up right now. And understanding it and understanding that everybody is going through these energies also puts you in a position to be empowered, right? Because awareness is a powerful tool. So one, you're having an awareness of yourself, right? Like how am I showing up in this world? How am I showing up? How am I accountable for these things, right? Am I communicating clearly? Am I being honest with myself? Um, am I reliable? Am I dependable, right? Do I have good follow through? Am I sitting in judgment and condemnation? Am I looking down at people? Or am I comparing myself to people, right? We have all these energies going on all over the place. And again, with the are your actions following your words, right? Like it's it's so interesting to see when you're coaching the amount of excuses that people can make for themselves, right? And make, you know, um, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them, right? And so my challenge is never to be like, hey, let me push you, and kind of like force because you've been doing that your whole life with people telling you what to do and it's not working, right? Like it's kind of like the rebellion energy where we're kind of like children inside and like throwing tantrums and we're saying, no, I'm not gonna eat my peas. No, I don't care if you make the little airplane in front of my face. I don't want it. Um, so we're having to get past that energy, right? And really take ownership, right, of our behavior, of how we're showing up, of how we've manifested this life for ourselves, and then how we can then manifest the solution, right? And the people that are showing up in our lives and what they're reflecting back to us, right? Because people are either like reflecting something back to you or projecting something onto you, right? And so being able to discern those energies, well, like that's a projection, that's an old energy, or, they're connected with an older version of me that's not who I am right now, or they're reflecting back to me some of the parts of myself that are still unhealed, that are still unseen, unheard, that feel like undervalued or unworthy or lacking love and respect and like all of those things. So understanding. and having a deep awareness of yourself, right? So I always bring, no matter what conversation, it's always going to come back to yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, you are the captain of your ship, right? This is your world. You're the star. You're the leading lady. You know, you can write a role for yourself in your play as an extra, right? You can live your life according to someone else's goals and dreams and help them fulfill their goals and dreams, or you can focus on yourself and really being the best version of yourself, right? Being accountable for your behavior, communicating clearly, not pushing your ideals onto another person, not projecting your fears and your limitations and your doubts and your worries and your insecurities onto another person, right? Um, Taking stock of your life and kind of seeing like, hey, where did this pattern even come from? Or like, why do I do this? Why am I sabotaging all my relationships? How come I'm fucking up every time I get a good job opportunity? Why is it that when I do get money, like it like burns a hole in my pocket? Or, why do I feel like I'm constantly being manipulated or people trying to take advantage of me? Or I keep getting passed over at my job, or I keep like capping out at a certain salary, right? Like these are all things that are going on in our lives that we need to like take a step back and be like, all right, well, how can I change this answer, right? How can I change this dynamic? How can I change the storyline? And so a lot of the toxic energy that we've had karmically within our bodies, within our DNAs that gets stored there is now coming up for transmutation, right? And so as that energy is coming up and as we're all kind of like being guided to have an awareness of it, right? Awareness of yourself as well as awareness of the things that are playing out around you in your reality, right? Like how are you going to make that shift? How are you going to step into the best version of yourself while still being really honest with yourself about the life that you've created thus far, right? And now I'm not saying that you're going to sit here blaming yourself and judging yourself and criticizing yourself for where you're at, but be accountable, right? Like, hey, maybe I should have left sooner, right? Like, how many of you have been in relationships that you stayed in too long? I'm sure I'm not the only one. And you're forgiving and you're loving and you're kind and you're generous and you're pouring love into them and you're hoping that they change. And, and then when the times are good, they're fucking great, but they're not outweighing the bad, right? But we stay and we hope and we put the blinders on and the rose colored glasses and we do all these things, right? And then it gets to a point where we have to be accountable for our actions, right? Like I don't get to be mad at the person that I was in a relationship for 10 years because they lied and they cheated and they stole from me when I saw early on, right, that they have a habit of lying and cheating and stealing, right? Or they've hurt every other person that they've been with before you, right? So there's all this shit and you got to take accountability for it, right? Like you chose to step into this relationship, and yes, sometimes you get love bombs, sometimes the narcissist will like play the fucking heartstrings, and I get it. I've had a couple of people trying to love bomb me recently, and I think it's the funniest thing to see, um considering the work that I do. I think that's the reason why I find it so amusing, because I'm like, hey, I'm a life, sex, and spirituality coach, and they're like, oh, love bomb, love bomb, love bomb, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you don't think that I see what go sit down somewhere. Like, what are we doing? Stop with the I love yous and the obsessiveness, right? Like, I get you like the light. I get the light. I get the energy. I get the healing that you get from being around me, right? And if you're a part of my tribe, right, especially like in the physical version, right, you're gonna get all the love, right? I love to cook for my friends and have people over, and I'm very affectionate. I'm very loving, and have deep, intimate relationships, but I don't need to be love bombed, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's sexual, right? And so when I have people that are kind of like love bombing me, I'm like, red flag, turn off, because I'm like, oh, who else are you doing that to? Why is this your go-to energy? What happens once it fizzles out? You know what I mean? Like, is that how you're living your life? You just going hard with something and then try to be really overwhelming with it, and then just then what? Right after you love bomb, and then the bomb goes off, then what's left? Right? Nothing. Dust. Psh, where you at? So saying all that to say this, when you have a deeper understanding of yourself and awareness of yourself and how you're showing up in the world and how you've been showing up in your relationships, and how those relationships and those energies are playing back to you a certain storyline, right? then you have a deeper understanding and awareness of yourself. We are meant as human beings to heal our karma and to expand in this life through relationships, right? We're part of villages, we're part of tribes, we're part of communities, right? Sometimes you isolate yourself um, from the tribe, community, or village that you were born into, and sometimes you move elsewhere. But we're meant to be together. We're meant to build relationships. We're meant to interact. We're meant to learn. We're meant to grow, right? Like you have something to offer me, and I have something to offer you, right? Whether it's just another perspective, like no one has lived your life, right? I'm not you. I don't have your eyes. I don't. We could look exactly alike, and I still wouldn't be you because you're you and I'm me, right? And so we have our own perspectives from life, right? Like we've had our own life experiences and our viewpoints and the cultures and the different ways that we've grown up, right? Like no one sees the world the same way that I do, right? My sister and I grew up in the same household. We have very different viewpoints of life. My sister is 7 years younger than me. Her childhood and my childhood were very different, very different. Her memories and my memories are very different. So there's a lot of stuff that she went through as a child that she doesn't have any conscious memory of it. And I know that, right? And so when things are brought up or stories are told her, she's like, oh, and I was like, no, you were there. She's like, and I'm like, I don't even go there because it's like, well, why bring up, all that old, dirty, heavy shit, right? Like, let's leave the abuse and the trauma and all that stuff in the past. But the point is, same household, two very different experiences, right? Two very different experiences. Our lives are very different right now. So understand that as you're healing and as you're growing, as you're taking accountability of yourself, you're going to start to see some nasty shit play out around you. Point blank and simple, right? And so people are kind of losing it. People are projecting their fears out onto others. People are losing their jobs, their money, their homes, their stability, their relationships, their mind, they might feel like, right? And it's not because, God is out here like punishing us and everybody's like being sent to their corner again. It's because these energies are coming up for you to heal it, right? Like we have to feel it to heal it. Bring the shit up so we can clear it out. That's it, right? When I see something, then I can look at it and go, oh, this is broken, or it's dirty, or it's trash. But I need to know what I'm looking at, right? So we need to cut all the lights on in the room before we clean the house, right? You don't clean your house. I mean, maybe you do. I would hope not. But if you have fucking common sense, you're not cleaning your house with the lights off, right? You're gonna go in the room. You're gonna cut the lights on. You're gonna open up the windows, open up the shades. You want to see everything. You want to see what you're dusting. You want to see what you're sweeping. You want to see what you're wiping down. It's common sense, right? It's the same thing that we're doing with all of the stuff, the ickiness that's going on inside of us. So understand that that's some of the stuff that's being played out right now, right? And understand where you show up in all of this. Take accountability, right? And then what are some things that you can do to shift that energy, right? And sometimes the only thing you really need to do is just be very observant, very present. It's so important to stay present and connected in this very now moment, right? Like the past is gone and the future is not promised. All of your power is in the now, right? So what can I focus on right now? Uh, my biggest thing, we always have, life is going on. It's like, right? The world is trying to pull your energy here, right? You need to get grounded. You need to be focused. You need to be clear in your own self. You need to figure out in your own life, where's the fire? Right? Like, what is the most important thing that I can be working on right now? And sometimes that's going to be, dealing with your kids, or it might be fixing something in your house. I don't know, or like having to have a really hard conversation with like your spouse. Um, but at the end of the day, wherever the fire is, let's focus on that, and then the other things will start to fix themselves. Right? It's like when we're doing the coaching. Um, the focus may be like health and fitness, right? Maybe your only focus is health and fitness. Like I want to lose, you know, 30 pounds by the end of the year. All right, fine, fantastic. That's our goal and focus. But as we're working on you, having a healthier lifestyle and potentially changing your diet and nutrition and, starting an exercise routine or whatever it may take, whatever your actionable steps might be for that plan, not only not only are you going to start to lose weight, right? But you're going to have more energy. You're going to be getting better sleep. You're going to feel more attractive about yourself. other people are going to be more attracted to you. You're going to have a greater sense of confidence, right? You're going to be making better lifestyle choices, right? So your body is going to start to change, and you're going to feel younger again and have more vitality, and your libido increases, right? And there's all these other things that get to go on from you just focusing on what? On trying to lose a few pounds, right? So now, not only are you losing a few pounds, but now you have confidence, right? Now you have self-love. Now all of a sudden you have suitors, right? Men and women are starting to be attracted to you, right? That's changing how you're showing up in relationships, right? You're feeling more confident about yourself. You're starting to see your value at work, right? Maybe now you have the confidence to go have that conversation with your employer about getting a raise, or maybe even now you're feeling so good about yourself that you feel confident enough to go put your resume out there and start looking for another job because you're showing up as like a better version of yourself, right? And so we take accountability, we take action, and then we get to make a change. But that's you, right? That's you doing this inner work. And so while you're doing your inner work, everyone around you may or may not be on the same page, right? And that's when it's important to, sorry, I'm shedding and I just see my hair everywhere. It's driving me crazy. Um, Not everybody is comfortable with change, right? And there are many people that are going to be in your life that are very comfortable with your discomfort. They're very comfortable with your lack of accountability. They're very comfortable with you not loving yourself. They're very comfortable with you not having boundaries, right? They're very comfortable with you living in poverty. There are people that are like that, and I'm not saying that it's conscious, but coming from their own unconscious mind and their own limits and fears and doubts and frustrations, right? Like they're putting that onto you because they don't feel safe, or they don't feel worthy, or they don't feel like enough, or that's what's always been done, right? Like that's, well, that's if you're black, you're supposed to be on welfare, and if you're, I don't know, Spanish, you got supposed to have a lot of kids, and whatever else the fucking stereotypes are, right? And so when you're kind of like opting out of that and opting into doing something else. It's like me working. It was like me. I was in a restaurant business for over 20 years and never had a problem getting a job, right? Fucking dynamic. I'm great at what I'm do. I'm really great with people. Went to culinary school. I know food. I know service, whatever. But I remember interviewing with someone and they were looking at my resume and they're like, wow, you've accomplished so much for a black woman. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? He's like, oh, I'm like, no, I don't see it. Like, I'm like, I don't know what lens you're looking through, but I've never had to deal with discrimination and anything like that. Not because of my sex and not because of my race, not in this industry. Now, people were kind of slighting me because of it. Okay, well, sorry for them. Like, I'm amazing. You know what I mean? So, like, if you don't want to work with me because I'm black, then you're stupid and dumb. You know what I mean? Like, cracks me up. But I could have opted into that storyline of anytime something's not going well for me, being like, oh, it's because I'm a black woman. I'm not doing none of that victimization, learned helplessness bullshit. It's like the medical problems that are supposedly genetically dispositioned. I'm not opting into none of that. I'm not doing dementia. I'm not doing what else? High blood pressure, high. I'm not. What I don't know. They be making up all types of shit. Whatever it is, I'm not doing none of that. I do health and wholeness and wealth and abundance and joy and prosperity over here. Like that's what we do over here. So, I made a choice in my life that I was going to opt out of those timelines. I made a choice in my life that I was going to opt out of those storylines. I made a choice in my life that I was not going to repeat those stories. I made a choice in my life to be the one to break the generational curses, right? And I've had to live that truth every day of my life. How are you going to step into that role? How are you going to be the full version of yourself? Are you and do you believe this, right? And sometimes it's imposter syndrome, right? Sometimes you gotta say the affirmations and you gotta be the fucking little engine that could. I think I can. 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 But guess what? You're not on this journey alone, right? We're all fucking chugging along with you, and some of the trains are moving faster than others because they've let go of that baggage and that extra weight, and they left the coal car behind. And some are moving fucking slowly, and they're taking everything with them. And it might be a while before they get up to the mountaintop and realize, hey, I actually don't need any of this stuff, right? And so the ride down to their victory is going to be so much greater or not so much greater, but it's gonna feel so exhilarating because of the heaviness that they've had to deal, because they decided to keep that stuff with them the entire time, and they made their process a little bit longer and a little bit slower, right? So, but we all are the little engines that could, right? And so, are you telling yourself that I can? Are you telling yourself, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can? Or are you allowing the voices of the other trains, the bigger trains, the one with the better engines, the ones that don't have any coal cars attached to them, and that are telling you that you're too slow, that you'll never make it, that that mountain is too big for you, that you're not strong enough, right? Are you listening to those voices? Right? Because that's what we all get to be. We get to decide, whose voice am I listening to? Right? Am I listening to the person that's talking to me in judgment and condemnation and telling me I wasn't good enough? And a lot of times it's the voices of our parents, our caretakers, our teachers, coaches, mentors, employers, people just fucking insulting you throughout the years, a lot of it projecting their bullshit onto you. And unfortunately, you embodied it. Unfortunately, you decided to take that freaking cloak and make it a part of your like outfit. And you're like, I can't take it off. Right? And I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. Right? It's not who you are. You're a sovereign, luminous being. You're a child of the Most High God. You're fucking dynamic. And you can be, do, or have anything that you want in this universe. Just don't hurt nobody and don't take shit from nobody else. We can all have a car. You ain't gotta ride in my car, right? You want a man? Go get one. That don't mean you take my man, right? It's real simple. Do not covet thy neighbor's wife, right? Treat your neighbor like you want to be treated. Love thyself. Love thyself. If you love yourself, are you disrespecting yourself? If you love yourself, are you betraying yourself? If you love yourself, are you dishonoring yourself? If you love yourself, are you lying to yourself? Right? Like, think about this. if you can't like if you can't think of it for yourself, think about it. If someone is in your life standing in front of you, looking at you, going, "Hey, I love you," and they don't follow through with what they say, they're not reliable, they lie, they're not accountable, they betrayed you, they've let you down time and time again. Um, they lack accountability, right? Every time there's always a story or something going on. Like, you need to start looking at this and, well, is this love? You know what I mean? Again, like, I I think I'm bringing it up because I just think it's so funny, the amount of people, men, I will be very specific, the amount of men who come at me with this love shit, and yet their actions don't match their words. And I really be sitting there like, wow, this is so fascinating, right? One, because I wasn't interested anyway, but I like to engage with people and have conversations and just see energetically why they were brought to me, right? Like, you may think that you're being brought to me because of sexual attraction, and in actuality, like, the Most High led you to me because there's a connection that we need to make, or there's a healing that needs to take place, or um a channel or a download that needs to come through me, right? Like, and so, like, I'm very good about establishing those boundaries. But I also watch, as people are showing up with these words of love and all that stuff, and it's boggles my mind that you can love someone so much verbally and then turn right around and just fall flat, like, and sometimes you have to ask that person, like, or not even ask, just really tell someone, like, if that's love, hate me, because it would probably hurt less. You know what I mean? It's like, a lot of that energy is coming up now to be dealt with, like, because we're in Libra season, because we're dealing with all these relationship issues and partnerships, and that's the energy that's being healed right now. Is there an equal give and take going on? Is there a balance? Are there people in your life that are stating that they love you, but they're showing up in ways that are very hateful and hurtful and harmful and negative and draining? Right? Like, you need to ask yourself these things and then make discerning decisions about who gets to stay and who gets to go. Not everybody's going to go with you on this journey. Not everyone who loves you actually loves you, right? Because many of them don't even fully love themselves, right? And not everyone who is praying for you with an A is actually praying for you. Sometimes they're praying with an E on you, right? So you need to be mindful of that as well. So I'm just saying all that to say this, guys. Like, as you're traversing these energies, as you're healing, as you're growing, as you're taking these actionable steps to start shifting in your life, as you're asking yourself some of these really hard questions, right? And, I definitely encourage you to journal. You guys know, I've said it before, and I'll probably say it a million more times. I'm a big fan of journaling. Get that shit out of your body, give it a platform, give it a voice so that you can move on with your life. There's no need to hold on to that heaviness, right? um Writing down the things that went on during the day also not only helps to get the stuff out of our body, but then we also get a different perspective, right? Because a lot of times, especially if you're like angry or just like you have a really high, like kind of emotion going on, right? Anger, bitterness, resentment, frustration, whatever it might be. And as you're in this energy, it can be hard to see clearly, right? It's like when you're seeing red when you're so angry, or seeing green when you're being envious or whatever. When we're writing and we're getting that stuff out of our body, it clears the energy out so that we have a different perspective, so that we can actually sit from the energy of an observer, right? As opposed to a participant into whatever the situation was, right? It's very different if you're in a fight than if you're standing on the outside watching the fight, right? Two very different perspectives. So that's what you get. That's the blessing that you get from journaling, right? You get to take a step back and watch the incident and then see the different perspectives and viewpoints, right? Because you've taken yourself back, taken your emotions out of it. You've allowed yourself to clear the haze and to see with a little bit more clarity, right? So I'm a big fan of journaling, right? Get all that shit out of your body every single day. I love to journal in the morning and I journal at night. I journal in the morning to script my day, to set the intentions. Like, I'm gonna have a wonderful day. It's gonna be a fantastic. I'm big on magical Monday and a terrific Tuesday and wonderful Wednesday and thrilling Thursday and fantastic Friday or fabulous Friday. Um, Super Saturday and or spectacular Saturday actually, and then it's been Sunday fun day, right? But every day I open my day with, this is gonna be magical, this is gonna be terrific, this is gonna be wonderful, setting the intention, and I wake my children up and I'm like, good morning, I love you, my billionaire babies, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, and I'm speaking life over them every single day, and I'm speaking life over myself. Before they even open their eyes, I thank God every day for waking my kids up. My kids don't even be up. Soon as I feel myself waking, first thing I say, thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for waking my kids up. Those are the first things that go through my mind. I don't hit the ground. I don't pee. I don't barely even open my eyes. Those are the first things that are coming to my mind. Thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for waking my kids up. And then I start my day, right? Shielding and protecting us, going into meditation and prayer, setting my intentions, journaling things out, right? Connecting with my higher self and my team of light, like getting everyone and all the players in order. It's like having a fucking boardroom meeting with your team of light, right? Like, this is what we got going on in the world of autumn today. And that's what it is, right? This is my life. I get to set the intention. And there are people that can be in it and cannot be in it. Some people will fire themselves. And that's amazing, right? Like, take the losses as blessings, right? You never really lose anything. The universe doesn't like a void. So if there's something that has been taken away, there'll be something replaced. And I'm not talking about, the people in your life that have crossed over. One, you never lose them because they're still on the other side of the veil. So you can connect with them at any time. So that's a whole nother conversation. Um, but even if you are missing or longing for, that maternal energy, that paternal energy that you had that you connected with, right? The Lord our God will definitely provide you with another energy to pour into you, to love you, to nourish you, to carry you through this time, right? You don't have to fear or doubt that, right? So just keep that in perspective. Um, anyway, I think that's it. This is supposed to be like the quickest message. I don't even know. I'm just laughing about all the nonsense that's happening. Anything else I want to tell you guys about? Oh, for those of you who don't know, duh, Autumn. So November 11th, for the ladies, any woman that you or your someone you may know that has had cancer, right? Already done with treatments, but is looking to bring more pleasure into their sexual life or reconnect with their physical avatar, right? If you know a bitch that's trying to get her sexy back and she had cancer and she need a little help, holla at your girl. Okay. Long story short. So November 11th is the launch date. I'm going to be posting about it before then. But yeah, it's a 3-month program for women to get their groove back on. All right. All the Stellas in my life, since they've gone through sex and the cancer and all the treatments and all the shit that I can do for your body. Let's help heal your body, mind, and soul, right? So I'm doing that for my beautiful ladies. And then, gentlemen, shout out to my homies. Gentlemen, working men, ages 25 to 55, this is for you. I have started I'll say a 3 month program, but I can do 1, 3, or 6 months with you guys. I broke it down to a 1 month program for you guys as well because I know for some of you gentlemen, although you're trying to bring more success into your business life right now, it might be a little push. So I created a 1 month program to help kind of get you started. But anyway, 1, 3, or 6 month program for my beautiful gentlemen who are looking to bring a little bit more success in their life, right? Whether that's health and fitness, money, business, career, sex, love, and romance. And also, the biggest part of this is really helping you in your mentality, right? Your mental game, because 80% of suicides every year are done by men. And I don't want any of you dying, right? And so this program is to help support you to embrace male intimacy, which is a very real thing and definitely needs to be fucking reestablished in this world. It's so ridiculous that it's not. To help you gain more successes in all those areas of your life or another area if you choose to focus on that. Um, my goal is to have you guys reduce your suicide, depression, anxiety, all that stuff. Step into the fullness and the wholeness that you are. Learn how to express yourselves and communicate in a very clear way without having people use that energy against you. I'm not with it, right? So for both groups, I have High Vibe Mamas on Facebook, right? For you beautiful ladies that have dealt with this cancer stuff. And I have our safe space for the gentlemen. Again, that's a container for male intimacy where you're able to be vulnerable, express your emotions, ask questions, be supported by other men that are on the same page as you, right? A like-minded community, to really help support you so that we can reduce male suicide, right? We can increase communication and intimate relationships once again. You know, I think it was like 1 in 4 men hasn't even had sex this year. You know, like the numbers are kind of just ridiculous. Um, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, links are down below if you want to check out a little bit more about it. But again, if it's not for you, but you know a woman that's had cancer that could maybe use a little more help in the bedroom, send her my way. If you know a man aged 25 to 55, whether that's you or not, and he is working, please send him my way. I would love for them to have more success in their business. I would love for them to have more success in their health. A healed man heals a household. I don't give a fuck how anyone says about that. The man is the head of the household. If his head ain't on right, everything else is going to fall apart. So I'm absolutely going to focus on the head of the household and support him. And I'm absolutely going to focus on the person that's supporting him because guess what? Behind every good man is what? A great woman. Those are who I'm working with right now, right? Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. And I will see you later, my beloveds. Later.